major transaction has happened with financial technologies now becoming just a 6% holder in MCX, something the regulator wanted, something the FMC and the government have been pressing for. So now the cleaning of that piece, if you please, if you want to call it that, is almost complete. To take us through this, what implications this has, are the commodities markets now completely set for becoming sophisticated markets, or is more cleansing or cleaning or tightening or improvement waiting to happen? As well, what are the future of these markets? To answer all those questions, Ramesh Abhishek, Chairman of the Forward Markets Commission, and Mr. Rajnikant Patel, the former Managing Director and CEO of the Bombay Stock Exchange, are joining us. Also, our expert on that issue, Varinder Bansal, our Head of Research, is also joining us in this discussion. Thank you, gentlemen. Well, Mr. Abhishek, let me start with you. The regulator has had his way, without getting into too many legal challenges from FT. The regulator forcefully ensured that the stake of FT is brought down and will eventually be brought down to 2% in MCX. What are your next plans for the entire spectrum of commodity exchanges? Is the cleaning over, so to speak?
Actually, we are glad that finally divestment of FTIL is taking place in MCX as per our fit and proper order of December last year. Non-compliance of this order so far had created a lot of regulatory issues with MCX, which was also hampering its development and growth, and also market confidence had been a bit shaken on that account. But now I think those issues will get sorted out. Going ahead, we feel that this market has a very important role to play in improving the price discovery and hedging issues on physical market. We would like this market to grow. We are trying to see that the warehousing in this market is made absolutely of highest quality, because that is key to getting the confidence of the market participants. One more thing that we are planning to do very soon is to encourage forward trading, which is delivery based only on our exchanges. As you know, the Forward Contract Regulation Act provides for only delivery based forward contracts. And the forward contracts in the physical market actually are not guaranteed, and there are a lot of risks for both buyers and sellers. So we plan to introduce that segment in our exchanges very soon. That, I think, will be a game changer.
And can you just elaborate a little bit more on the warehousing bit? After all, the chaos in NSEL started from there. How are you planning to improve that piece?
See, after the NSEL scam, as you know, we mandated our exchanges that they should get their warehouses registered by WDRA, the Warehousing Development Regulatory Authority. That process is going on, but we are going to prescribe some capital adequacy norms, network criteria, and other criteria for ensuring that only proper warehouse service providers enter the exchange space. We would also want to make the functioning of warehouses very transparent. We want to introduce third-party audits and a lot of disclosures on the website, so that people know what commodities are there in which warehouse, in what quantity. So we want to make this absolutely foolproof, so that the service levels in warehouses improve, the transparency improves. Because without this, the market confidence will not be there in our warehouses.
Sir, before, of course, everyone appreciates the kind of steps FMC has been taking, regarding the commodity markets. But I just want to clear few doubts regarding the Kotak MCX and the NSEL deal. What happens to the money raised by financial technologies? They raised around 850 crores, via this 26% stake sale. Have you any idea whether that money will remain with financial technologies, or whether that money could be used to repay those borrowers? Because till the genesis of this entire NSEL problem, there's no answer, about that 5,500 crores amount which has been lurching for many investors. And second part, there has been no action which has been taken against borrowers or the brokers. So what happens to them? What happens to the actual problem which created all this fiasco?
Okay, Varinder, you have asked three good questions. One is what happens to the money that is going to FTIL. As you know, FTIL is a listed company which is not regulated by FMC. So what they do with money is not something that we have much to do with. They have to go by whatever are the prevalent laws in force in the country. So far as NSCL is concerned, as you know, the various investigations are going on, including in the MPID Act, and there is a process of recovery also has been initiated. We are also working closely with NSCL and the committee of NSCL investors and brokers to see that NSCL takes whatever steps are required to force the defaulting members to pay up as soon as they can. So I think all these efforts are going on simultaneously. The criminal investigations, the pressure on the NSCL to force the defaulting members. So we are in constant touch with them. The committee of investors and brokers are constantly reviewing their work. And even today afternoon we have a joint meeting with NSCL Board of Directors and this committee to review what steps they have taken as they had agreed earlier. So we are keeping all the pressure on, but this is a judicial process on the investigation side and also on the recovery side under MPID Act. So all these things are going on, and we are very hopeful that it will reach some stage where more recovery takes place and paid to the investors.
Okay, Mr. Patel, you've heard the FMC chairman's plans going forward, both on warehousing as well as on forward markets trading. What are your thoughts? Can it exponentially improve trading volumes?
I think what FMC Chairman Mr. Abhishek has said, it's a step in a really a direct direction, which I believe that unless you put in together the WDRA piece and the entire network criteria, which is a very good, nice step, I think, and take away these fly-by-night operators who would actually come again into the market by getting WDRA registration with one or two small warehouses. I think this is a care we must take, and we have learned a lot from this scam, so to say.
Only network criteria is enough?
No, I would say network criteria, then also introduction of a warehouse management system, and probably linking it to a clearing corporation. I think this is where, again, what Vijayendra asked the question about settlement, what happens on the NSCL recovery process. I think to bring the entire piece into the one integrated regulation of clearing corporation, and then integrate it so that, you know, one side, just as we have seen in the capital market, similar seamless integration happens. Then we have with the warehouse management and regulatory oversight and registration process with the stricter norms, which would be actually more on not only on the network but also initial capital and the even the control systems. We should go down to that level where we actually do the warehouse management system. That could actually be a game changer.
Yeah, but Mr. Abhishek, do you have the manpower to do so much? I mean, KYC and surveillance thereafter of so many warehouse guys all over the country. Net worth would be the easiest piece because that's only looking at their balance sheet or their bank balance. What about the rest of their procedure? You think that much bandwidth is available with the FMC?
See, we have been strengthening the capacity of the FMC last year with the support of the Ministry of Finance. Recently, we have completed the process for hiring of 20 experts in the commission. We are also drafting a warehousing manual in consultation with the exchanges. So all the fine details of warehouse operations are also codified there. So I think we are also taking services of many other expert bodies and resource centers. So capacities are there and we are increasing them. We are also outsourcing these works. I may also add that warehouse receipt financing is something that is very critical to reduce the cost of carry and funding in the market. So we are also impressing upon all the concerned authorities that we must have a much better system of warehouse receipt, though it also follows that once you have good quality warehousing, the warehouse receipt financing will also improve because that will carry more credibility. As Mr. Patel said, we are also working on a common clearing corporation for our commodity exchanges. A committee has been set up by the Ministry of Finance recently, and they have been asked to give a report by end of August. So we are looking at actually development of the commodity market on all sides. We are also looking forward to a decision from the Department of Financial Services and SEBI on asking the borrowers, on those who are taking commodity exposure from banks and also listed companies, to hedge their price risk on the commodity exchanges and also disclose in the annual reports. So those are the two initiatives we have to bring the physical market participants into the commodity exchanges.
That's very great, sir. You know, I'm still a bit stuck on that, Kotak MCX deal. I was arguing with Menka yesterday, Lata, and I wanted to ask, Mr. Abhishek this question. Just for clarity, can Kotak Mahindra Bank have interest in 2 exchanges at a time? Because clearly the intent of that financial investment of Kotak in MCX is not yet clear. They haven't asked for any board seat. Have they come to you, Mr. Abhishek, or do you think that Kotak will not have any board seat and it will be only financial investment and Kotak Mahindra Bank can have interest in 2 exchanges simultaneously?
So far as a promoter or taking equity in more than 1 exchange is concerned, so we have our policy of May this year is very clear. It doesn't prohibit such a thing to happen. So I don't think that should be a problem because it is not prohibited as of now. We have just come to know about this deal. I think the process has to be gone through. They will have to go to the exchange. They will have to come to us. And then I think other issues like board representation can be looked at. But basically these will be guided by the various provisions of the laws, in specifically Companies Act.
What happens to the potential tax liabilities or impending questions, on MCX after that PwC audit report? Because still no one is clear on what it happens. Even that yesterday deal happened, it is based on many, it is based on, on few things which we don't know in terms of what the answers are. What about those potential contingent liabilities on MCX, which could arouse possibly in the future or not?
Well, we have already asked MCX to have a more logical and balanced technology agreement with service provider. They are already in the process of negotiating that, and we are definitely hoping and we would like that to happen as soon as possible. So that was one of the issues in the PwC report. On other aspects of PwC report also, the exchange has been taking various actions and measures, and which we have been reviewing from time to time to ensure that proper follow-up action is taken by them.
Going by what Mr. Abhishek is saying, Mr. Patel, what's your estimate of the growth of commodity markets? If we are able to get warehousing in order, warehouse receipts, and then therefore better financing and clearing corp, assuming this takes a year, where does this take volumes?
We have to see it from 2 angles. One is from the present kind of a negative sentiment which is there, which is now getting slowly corrected. That would actually lead to a confidence building at the investor level and at the market intermediary level also. So that would be a cause for greater volume contribution on this. The other part we have to look at it from the CTT angle, from the angle of allowing other innovative products into the market. I think this, when the product innovation comes in, a bit of a integration as we were discussing, and rebuilding the credibility in terms of the entire warehousing receipt, and then implementing the
No, I'm looking for a number. Do you expect it will take a while?
Just to add what Lata is mentioning, the volume on MCX has dipped down to 192 billion right now.
Right.
And the peak what it saw was nearly 550 billion. My simple question is, how many years do you see MCX reaching to its peak after all what we have discussed in this show? Can MCX reach those volumes of 500 plus billion, and how many years possibly can it take?
I would say getting to a particular number would be anybody's guess. But I would say in terms of if the infrastructure and everything else is there, then going up to that should not be a difficult situation. And maybe a year or 2 you would expect that volume to bounce back. Now and that's where I was actually talking about the product innovation, because as the market and you look at the inflation, all this pressure and the monsoon, the whole thing which is coming on the agri product, that also adds to it. And then the kind of sentiment which is globally prevalent in bullion and other things. I think these are all factors which will contribute. But if these enablers are there in place, which I think which are being kept in place, then reaching previous levels of volume may not be all that difficult.
Okay. Mr. Abhishek, a blank check kind of question to you on the Kotak deal itself. Do you see it largely getting clearance, or do you have any grey areas in that deal?
We haven't received a proposal yet, but so far as FMC is concerned, as you know, while others can only take up to 5% of the equity in the exchanges, financial institutions like banks can take up to 15%. So it's very clear that we want institutions to come in, and a financial institution of repute coming in is definitely a welcome step. But once we get a proposal from the exchange and Kotak Mahindra Bank, we will take a final decision. But I mean, I don't see any much of a problem there.
Okay. My last question, sir, to you, because this is being talked about a lot in the market. Mr. Modi has clearly said that he's opposed to forward trading in commodities, and I remember discussing with you as well. What remains your view on this? Because you said that
delivery-based
the forward contracts, is there a possibility which could be launched very soon by FMC? But what is your suggestion or assessment after these comments from Mr. Modi?
See, as I said, future trading or forward trading in commodities is something that is provided for under the FCRA. And we are even in the process of submitting a revised proposal to the government on amendment of FCRA. Then the Ministry of Finance and the government will have to take a view on that. So far as we are concerned, we are continuing with our work as mandated by FCRA. We see a lot of value added to the physical market participants through price discovery. So rest, of course, we have to wait for the government decision.
Okay, will you relook or will you ask MCX Authorities Board to relook their technology relationship with financial technologies?
Actually, we have already done that long time back, and we have asked them to complete the process of negotiation. They have a negotiating committee on this with FTI for negotiating this contract afresh with FTIL. They are already on that job. We had asked them to complete that as soon as possible. So I hope that they will do so very soon.
All right, out of time, sir. Mr. Abhishek, Mr. Patel, thank you very much for joining us in this discussion.